Hey guys, Shiny here. We are back with Doki Doki, and I did do some stuff off stream just to get the ball rolling, so to speak, and I ended up getting poems that I hadn't before by accident. So basically I was just redoing the Sayori line just so I could get to the next one. Basically, to unlock the true ending, you have to do each of the characters in the first arc or whatever. And I wound up getting Yuri's poems. I don't know how or what triggered it, but this time Yuri actually gave me her poems for the last 2 days. So let's see. Since they unlock in the photos area, I figured I might as well read them on stream. So we got the raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by this scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was. Sorry, her cursive still trips me up a bit. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as something. It's so tiny. Strange tendencies as a something human. Sorry, it's very tiny on my screen. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I am merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic something conditioning. I slice the bread and I feed myself again. And then there's also her beach poem. Let's see. Marvel millions of years in the making. What the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface. Under a clear blue sky and expanse of bliss, but beneath gray coiling clouds, I think. Or rolling clouds. An endless enigma. The easiest wood to get lost in. It is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave of waves send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic, the breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back and I abandon my piece to avoid the shore? Or a road at the shore. Drift forward and I return to Earth forevermore. So yeah, those were the two Yuri poems. I still don't understand how I unlocked them this time, but I did. That and part of me kind of wants to dig through the character files to try and find secret stuff, because I'm sure that there's secrets somewhere in here. Because they left all of the other stuff like from the original in here, so I'm sure somewhere in here has stuff, but I think I'll save that for maybe the end of the stream or something. For now, might as well actually go to the game. Okay. So basically, this one right here at the end, that's where you choose who to hang out with on the Sunday. And this is the very first time you write a poem. This save file is me doing all of the Sayori options, so it's time to do either Natsuki or Yuri. Since I tried doing Natsuki and Yuri sort of overrode us last time because I forgot that was a thing in Act 2, let's hang out with Natsuki. Her words are relatively easy, I think. Oh. Or not. Bunny, lollipop, nibble, pink, strawberry, fluffy, bubbles. Nope, that was her too. Anime. Oh well. Hopefully we're doing okay. I keep hitting Sayori. Poof. Email. Okay, hopefully this works. And just to make things easier... Oh, I also changed my character's name. I am not Shiny anymore since the character is a guy, not a girl. I figured I'd do the opposite of Shiny, which is Matt, and it already sounds like a name, so I thought it worked. But yeah, I can skip through all of the stuff that we've already done, because this is all the same. But now it stops because I haven't seen this, so that's probably how we're going to do this, just to get through things quicker and also save my voice a bit. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right in the middle of the rest. Aha! Much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's way out of my demographic or simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Matt. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge... I still can't talk, though. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsill. I can't talk today. What is my problem? She pats the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly a bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I don't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through your older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school, typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rarer for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like there's this really funny chapter where they're obsessed with this guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all sorts of drama. Like when they get in... like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen, that's really what makes it good. There's so many touching parts. Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't yet seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but I'm guessing there's a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? We read for a few more minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Huh? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know what you mean. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, huh? You still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So... Geez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minari is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feelings you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone, huh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry, I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Huh? Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is it really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you don't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. How slow a reader is this guy, even with manga? I mean, I get through like the thick volumes in like an hour. That doesn't put a dent in my anime time. He must be a very slow reader. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up, I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Okay, we're to the normal stuff. Okay, so these should all be different since now I'm talking with Natsuki. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. This is good poem, Matt. Are you sure this is your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, it's just like what I said before, Matt. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that not only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I can't read today, apparently. I'm gonna have some more water. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her... Oh, I guess I could have been skipping all of this. I guess we got past the new stuff. Okay, skip. I just need to watch the skip button a little bit more. Okay, well, let me start with the things I don't like. Oh yeah, because we started doing Natsuki's route in, Act 2, so all of this we've actually done too. Okay, what does Yuri have to say about a Natsuki poem? Oh yeah, I guess she's read it too. Everyone's read the first Natsuki poem. Okay, this will go a lot quicker than I thought. Okay. I like it, Matt. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh geez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There's lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. Okay. Okay, they're gonna fight. Sayori. Oh, I guess I should have went with Natsuki. Darn it. Just to see what would happen, since we're doing the Natsuki route right now. Boo. Okay, twirl, clouds, milk, party. Nope, that was Sayori, fluffy, doki doki, email, silly. Nope, that's Sayori too. Their lines, their words line up way too much. I'm honestly not sure. Adventure? No. Okay. Need to remember to do Natsuki things. Okay. The whole cookie incident. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to me expectantly. Yeah, don't worry, I kept my promise. I pull the first volume of Parfait Girls from my bag. Natsuki takes it from my hand and then quickly turns it over, presumably to check for wrinkles. Hey, I'm not that careless. I handle manga all the time, you know. I just wanted to make sure. Can you blame me for being paranoid? I don't give people my manga every day, you know. That's true. I don't blame you. Well, anyway, let me put this one back. I'm gonna get the next one, okay? Natsuki makes her way to the closet. I follow. So you're gonna tell me everything you thought, right? Where did this volume leave off again? I forget. The chapter ended with, The chapter ended when Minori and Alice found Monica. Natsuki's voice resonates out from inside the closet. Huh? I peer inside. All of Natsuki's books are lined up on the top shelf. Did you move my manga again? Sorry. The teacher got mad at me for taking up so much space in her closet, so I had to move some stuff around to clean up a bit. It's all still there, I just had to organize it a bit. The top shelf is far above Natsuki's head. She makes a futile hop trying to figure out how to reach her manga. Jeez. This is so inconvenient. I'm moving these all back down. There's plenty of room on these shelves. And besides, they're all really pretty to look at when they're all lined up. Why would you waste that on the top shelf? Natsuki, there's a stool on the wall there. In the closet, there's a collapsible stool that's hanging on the wall. If you want, I can reach up there and hand them to you. I can get them myself. Natsuki grabs the stool from the wall and unfolds it. You think I'm too short or something? I mean, I knew it. Well, you know what? Just watch me. Natsuki hops onto the stool, which ends up being a little wobbly because of its collapsible design. Aha! Careful. I know what I'm doing. Standing on the stool, Natsuki's fingertips reach the top shelf. The stool would be enough for me to easily grab the books, but Natsuki is being stubborn as usual. Natsuki uses her fingers to scoot one of the smaller boxes to the edge of the shelf. See? The box suddenly tips. Natsuki barely catches it before it falls onto the floor. The stool wobbles. Losing balance, Natsuki hops off the stool. Thankfully, she was able to stay on her feet. She holds the box triumphantly. There! Having almost fell, Natsuki is a bit shaken up. Geez, no need to prove yourself to me. There's no way you'll be able to get that bigger box like that. I can reach them, so I said I can do it. I don't want your help, okay? I'm gonna get a chair, so just hang on. Natsuki forces her way past me out of the closet. Let's see. The classroom chairs have the desks attached, so they're too inconvenient to fit into the closet. Aha! Natsuki trots over to the teacher's desk, which has a computer chair behind it. She rolls it on its wheels back to the closet. It's a little dangerous since the chair swivels and rolls, but I've already learned my lesson, so I keep my mouth shut. Hush. Natsuki climbs onto the chair, then slowly balances onto her feet. Since she refuses my help, I take a seat with my back against the side of the doorway and simply watch. There we go. See, I can easily do it now. Natsuki grabs the stack of manga and bends down to put it on the shelf below. Whoa! The chair swivels. Natsuki catches herself on the shelf. What are you doing? Can you at least hold the chair steady instead of sitting and doing nothing? Who was it that told me not to help? Yeah, I got you. I hold the chair while Natsuki reaches back up. I can... Of course you can! I force myself to turn away. Natsuki seriously didn't think this through. Once she realizes I'll be dead. Scams in the chat. More scary than Monica. Let's see. Go away. Okay, game tab. Natsuki wraps her arm around the Parfait Girl box set, easily the largest one on the shelf. Heavy. Hey, Matt. I don't think I can bend down without falling. Hurry and take this one. But then I have to let go of the chair. That's fine. Just for a second. Hurry up. All right. Let me just stand up. I slowly release my grip from the chair. What do you mean, stand up? Natsuki looks down at me. Why are you all the way back? Natsuki looks like she just realized something, but she'll lose her balance if she moves. Natsuki, the box? What are you looking at? You're trying to look up my... Natsuki's legs shake. I'm not, I was just... Natsuki, don't try to move. Just give me the box. You perv. You set me up. Go away. Get out. But I'll do it by myself. The chair suddenly swivels beneath Natsuki's feet. Natsuki! The scene turns into chaos in a split second. The chair flies from under Natsuki's feet. Frantically, I try to catch her. The box topples out of her hand and the books go flying. I got you. The full force of Natsuki's body against me throws me to the ground. A whole bunch of books pelt me in the face. Natsuki tries to shield herself with her own arms as her face lands straight onto my chest. My right arm and my back seriously felt the impact. Slowly, Natsuki comes to her senses. She presses her arm straight into me to prop herself up. Natsuki seems to realize that it's not the floor that's beneath her. Ah, gross, gross. Ah. A fist pounds into my chest. Natsuki then hoists herself to her feet. What were you thinking, you sicko? Everything okay over there? I heard a loud noise. Monica suddenly peers in. Monica, see what happens when you put the manga on the top shelf? Are you trying to kill your club members or something? Kind of. Jeez. Sorry. Oh, and one more thing. It seems like your most recent club member is a total pervert. So I hope you're happy. I didn't. Somehow it's impossible for me to explain this whole bizarre situation to Monica. I didn't do anything, I swear. I know, don't worry. Monica says that quietly to me. Looks like I'm off the hook. Oh no, huh? I look down. Natsuki is kneeling on the floor, holding one of the books that are scattered all over. There's a large diagonal crease along the pages that she's desperately trying to smooth out. It must have landed on the page. Natsuki tries a bit more to fix the crease, but she can't get it out. Suddenly, she gives up and slams the book shut, and then throws it to the floor. Instead of continuing to yell, she just lowers her head. Aw. Natsuki, are you... No. Natsuki... Blah, 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 blah. I can't read. Natsuki's voice squeaks. I see tears on her face. I'll help get the crease out, okay? It's partially my fault, so... Natsuki shakes her head, still looking down. No. I don't even care that much. I'm just... having a really bad day today. Natsuki sobs again. I didn't mean to take it out on you. I really didn't mean to. It's fine. Is there anything you want to talk about? Natsuki shakes her head. Just every day is so hard. I just want to come to the club and... Natsuki falls silent again. I can't press her, so I can only do what I know how to do. Alright. Well, I'll help you clean this up. And I'll move the rest of your manga for you. I pick up volume 2 of Parfait Girls. We'll set this one aside. This'll help cheer you up a bit, right? We can get started on it once I'm done. Natsuki looks up with her glossy eyes. Her lips quiver. You're really nice to me. Huh? That sounds really strange coming from Natsuki. I didn't expect it at all. Well, I'm just treating you like a friend, you know? Natsuki lowers her head and stifles another sob. I'm not sure what happened to her today, but being nice is the least I can do. The next couple of minutes are silent between us as I begin gathering the scattered books. I make sure to slip them into the box in their correct order. After a little bit, Natsuki starts helping. It isn't long before we're done, and I hoist the box onto the shelf where Natsuki wanted to put it. Then I get onto the stool and quickly finishing the rest of her books from the top shelf. Alright, that should do it. I hop off the stool. Natsuki averts her gaze. Thanks. It's nothing. Natsuki is holding the volumes I set aside in her hands. Alright, I'm ready. Good. Even if you weren't, I'd make you anyway. You're taking responsibility for what you said. The thing about cheering me up. If you insist. We sit in the same spot as last time and I open the second volume. Natsuki's mood quickly improves, laughing and pointing things out to me. She's surprisingly sharp, making note of a lot of the subtle, repeated jokes and background elements. In the end, I'm pretty impressed by how everything ties together in this manga. I guess Natsuki has good taste after all. After some time, Monica gets our attention as usual, and it's time to share poems again. Guess I'll be holding on to this for now. Yep. Even you sound more enthusiastic about it this time. Well, I'm starting to get into it, you know. Told you. Yeah. I return to my seat and slip the book into my bag. Okay, going in order again. Oh my goodness. This is so good, Matt. Huh? I love it. Especially after yesterday's poem. You're too honest sometimes, Sayori. No, but really, I want to put this on my wall, can I? Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Huh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a map poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? You want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Pain. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah, I like the things that are happy. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most, but sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain clouds a little hug and makes a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Huh? It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Matt. I should go write that down then. You can read my poems now, okay? Okay. This looks like it is the same... Yeah, this is the same one. Okay, skip. Water. Okay, Natsuki. Natsuki reads my poem. She keeps glancing at me, then back at the poem. By now she must have read it more than once. Is it that bad? No, it's not. It's good. It's really good, okay? There, I said it. This wasn't supposed to happen at all. Why can't you just be bad at this? My poems are supposed to impress you, not the other way around. You're trying to impress me? Obviously, you think I'd let you enjoy Yuri's writing more than mine? Give me a break. Well, in that case, what's the problem with me trying to impress you? I'll tell you, Natsuki's face freezes like she just realized something. You're trying to impress me? Natsuki vigorously scans her eyes over my poem one more time. Then the poem slips out of her hands and flutters to the floor. I have to use the bathroom. Red-faced Natsuki quickly walks out of the room. Hey Matt, did you do something to Natsuki? I just saw her rush out like that. You didn't do anything terrible, did you? No, I just told her that... My voice gets caught in my throat. There's no way I could tell Monika that I'm trying to impress Natsuki. Monika sees the poem lying on the floor and swiftly picks it up. She reads through it, her smile not fading from her face. I see. You wrote this for Natsuki, didn't you? I mean, not really. In fact, didn't she like your poem a lot the other day too? I'm surprised you know her taste so well already. Are you sure you're not cheating, Matt? Cheating? What do you mean by that? Never mind, I'm just kidding around. I didn't understand Monika's joke at all. Anyway, how do you think Natsuki feels about you? Oh, you don't need to answer that. It was just something for you to think about. Hey! Natsuki comes up and snatches the poem out of Monika's hands. Neither of us had noticed her re-enter the classroom. Did you... Excuse me. Did you read this, Monica? Of course, I liked it. You should really stop reading things that aren't for you, you know. You have a bad habit of doing that. Huh? But Matt wrote this poem, and we're supposed to share with everyone, right? Natsuki freezes. She apparently forgot that my poem is technically for everyone to read. Okay, well, I think Matt is done sharing this poem with everyone. It's not like anyone would want to read this anyway. In fact, I'm just gonna hold on to this. If you insist. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Like what? Never mind. Natsuki, I'll give you the poem, but that's still not very fair to Yuri. She hasn't gotten to read it yet. So what? Well, I guess Matt is right, Natsuki. It's not fair if you don't let everyone finish reading it. Fine. Natsuki returns my poem. It's not like she's going to like it, though. Anyway, read my poem now. And no, I won't let you keep it. This is my only copy. Okay, this is the spider one. Skip through stuff. You know, I'm glad that you can appreciate this kind of writing. I mean, I know I was talking about that yesterday, but I've been enjoying sharing my writing with you, so consider yourself lucky, okay? Well, thanks for being honest. What's that supposed to mean? I'm always honest. Geez, just look forward to tomorrow too, okay? Alright, I will. Okay, Yuri. Something tells me she's gonna ignore me. Yeah, she doesn't even let me read the poem. Okay, skipping. That was kind of silly with Natsuki earlier, wasn't it? I'm glad the two of you have been getting along so well. That's one way of putting it. Anyway, I already read your poem, but you can go ahead and read mine too. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Okay, save me. Yeah, we've done that one. Okay, skipping everything. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay, this time. Okay, we want to keep Sayori happy. She's so cute and fun to be around. Okay, she just always mentions whoever, I guess. Okay. So now we do more Natsuki stuff. Nope. Color? Nope. Email. Hop. Kawaii. Lipstick. Boop. Puppy. Marshmallow. Games? Yeah. Pink. Bubbles. Poof. Maybe dance? Nope, that was Sayori. Okay, skip through everything. Hey, you. Huh? I look up to see Natsuki next to me. Are you just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? There isn't that much time, so... sorry. I didn't mean to make you worry or anything. It's not like I'm worried. I was just... Natsuki glances down at her side. She's holding the volume of manga in her hand. That's right. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer. Jeez. Now you're making me feel like a jerk. If something's bothering you, then you can just tell me to leave you alone, and I will. I mean, assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything. She practically mumbles the last part. Nah, I'm probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. I've just been thinking about Sayori, that's all. Sayori? Thinking about her? Yeah, she seems pretty down today, but she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh. Natsuki exhales. Well, first of all, you should really work on your phrasing. But anyway, you're her best friend, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Then, in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you would be the first person she would go to, right? Well, I guess that's true. I mean, some people just have those days. You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about her because it's not important. Yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. Maybe it's not right for me to get blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's not right for me to go against her wishes. Exactly. If she needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious. Yeah. I should have thought of that from the blah, blah, blah. Why can't I read anymore? I should have thought of it that way from the start. Natsuki fiddles with the book she's holding in her hands. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? Don't get the wrong idea or anything. We've just been friends for a long time. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so... I was not. Geez, if you're fine, then let's hurry and get started already. Yeah. Okay. Skipping everything. Okay, what does Sayori say? It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki. Huh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Matt. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright, just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Okay. Water. Let's see. You're certainly enthusiastic today. Of course. You know I like your writing. I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before. Well, of course. I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous. Just because you happen to be a good writer? That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Natsuki, what? You're not very confident about your writing, are you? Huh? What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best, right? It took me a while to figure out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. Excuse me. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. Right? Matt? Please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you really hate them. Just please tell me that I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know it sounds stupid, but there's a reason I never shared my poems before this. Natsuki, because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems if people are just gonna laugh and say, "That's so cute, just like you, Natsuki." Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter. The emotions are in there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want... Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver. I look down. Her fists are clenched really tightly. Hey Natsuki, if you're not careful, you'll rip up your own poem. I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she put into it. don't read it. Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem up off the desk. It's not any good. And I know you hate my poems, so you don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. Why? Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it. But I know you better now. And it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well, but sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about how hard it is for you, and I'm sorry if I was part of that problem. I understand now. You're not just cute, you're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set the poem on the table. You can read it. Just turn that way. I don't want you to look at my face right now. Okay, I will. Okay. Oh, this is different. Because you. See, tomorrow will be brighter with me around, but when today is dim, I can only look down. My looking is a little more forward because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars, but when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing is a little bit taller because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all of my heart, but what do I do when it's all torn apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer because you think of me. Because you. Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It's just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things coming from you. Don't just say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't say. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well. And I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. Well, yeah. I'm a pro, so... Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does. Just remember that I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful. I'm glad. Sensing Natsuki is satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. But as I do, Natsuki takes my hand and pushes them back away. Her small, soft hands surprise me with their assertion. I don't want it. Huh? Why not? I just don't. Jeez. I realize what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, in that case, I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I chose to go along with it. Good. If you didn't, I would... Never mind. I'm glad you want it. Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself. That's all for now, so go put it away before someone sees it, okay? Yeah, I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat so that I can put away Natsuki's poem. Okay, Yuri. Okay, this is probably the same. She doesn't want to read anything. Hi, Matt. Have you thought about what you want to submit? Where's some new stuff? Sticking with that Natsuki style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you? Oh, come on, Matt. It's always suspicious, you know? Spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like manga that she's into. You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me. Huh? No, I think you're misunderstanding, Matt. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have. Is that so? I kind of knew that, but I just didn't want to admit it. So I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. A lot of times she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't want to do that to me, right? I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her and the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiles sweetly. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now. Alright. Yeah, that's still the same as before. So just skip to whatever is next. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. We have made it through Natsuki's route, so now it's time to do Yuri's route. Okay. Yuri is very easy. Just all of the big words. Oh, that was Sayori. Contamination. Ambient. Precocious. Uncanny. Sunset? Nope. Intellectual. Unstable. Analysis. Horror. Graveyard. Extreme. Tragedy. Nope, that's Sayori. Unrestrained. Guessing passion. Nope, that was Sayori too. Crap. Hopefully I get the Yuri route. Okay. Just gonna skip to... Yes. Okay, we did it okay. Excuse me. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed you in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to read some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled The Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Matt? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri was into those sorts of things. She's so she's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slam my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Okay, so it won't let us skip because we haven't seen the uncorrupted version of this scene. Let's see, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips over to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry, I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continued reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continued the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment, but Matt, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know what you were, know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Okay. Skipping things, Sayori, and water. Okay. Matt, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. But do you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay. Skip all of that. Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of a new writer's. Okay, we've seen some of this. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Matt. Me too. Okay, Monica. Okay, hey Matt, having a good time so far, blah blah blah, great job. I was going, oh, in my head while reading this. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to get go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Excuse me. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. Okay, and skip more. Woo! Okay, they're gonna fight. This time I will, I guess I should back up Yuri. Gonna have some water though. If I was thinking, I would have backed up Natsuki on the last route. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? Huh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized, don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk to clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Matt, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have, blah, 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 blah. I'm thankful to have you as a part of the club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, huh? What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay. Skipping. Okay. Time to get all of the complicated words. Dark? Nope. Melancholy. Extreme. Captive? Engulfant. Unrestrained. contamination, frightening, uncontrollable, agonizing, variance, universe, infallible, I can't talk, determination, unending, misfortune, nope, that was Sayori, okay. Okay, what happens next? Hey, Yuri. Huh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh, no. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with the filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher, and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? We're just, Yuri was going to make some tea, so... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping, or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Matt in club activities, huh? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Matt. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. The water does not feel like it's helping my throat at all. Let's see, once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri? Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Matt, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head? Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Matt, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Matt, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try to express myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worried about me, Matt. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Matt, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Huh? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at a desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because of your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes, I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I sat against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assumed the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Huh? Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I have to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally managed to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. You sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it in my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But it means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Huh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just? Yuri looks at me like she needs some... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Matt. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well... You were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, Lynn. You don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling, to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. Monica really cut that one short. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Matt, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Okay, Sayori. Oh, I like this one, Matt. It has a nice feeling. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, and I can skip. Okay, Natsuki. Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Don't tell me, huh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know Yuri would love this kind of angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Okay, Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Matt, this one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why? You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offered that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself, and besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Let's see, so I guess I could have just waited to read Yuri's poems because they're gonna be in here. So yeah, this the raccoon poem. Okay. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I guess I could read all of this since that's what happened in my other route off stream. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right, it's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Matt? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now. But I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things, writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Matt. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling, and you're to thank for that. I can't read. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Okay. And Monica! Hi again, Matt. How's the writing going? I'm guessing there's nothing new here. There it is. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her, huh? You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but, well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh well, I know. I was just saying, but anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. Load me, yeah, the same one. It's even more abstract. We've already done this. Speed reading, go. Water, go. Okay. Walking home with Sayori. Okay. Uncontrollable. Vertigo. Tenacious. Disaster. Nope. Fickle. No, that's Sayori, isn't it? No, Dream. Infallible. Universe. Frightening. Zone. Incapable. Contamination. Disoriented. Agonizing. Engulfant. Hey, we might actually get a perfect poem. What is this? Entropy. Sensation. Determination. Ambient. Unending? Ooh, we got the perfect one. Cool. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away as quickly as with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit on the one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell what I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little bit off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic, huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Ah, I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Matt, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. Ah, so you think there might be something behind it after all? Mm-hmm. I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside of her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today, too. And I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is... I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay. Skipping. Sayori. Okay, something tells me this is just the same as... This is the best one, I'm going home. Okay. Yeah, no thanks. Huh? You didn't even... Next. Matt, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling... I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe you're so good at something and you've never shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Matt, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot to do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people you want to fall in love with, or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type, and they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you. I'm not a know-it-all, Matt. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what I was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person. I speak too slowly, I second-guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wasn't it you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands, but this time she's smiling as she does it. You don't want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Okay. Oh, it's a different one. Oh, it's a sequel to the Ghostlight one. Let's see. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers, my heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand, the flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green, my heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I'm supposed to respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is, once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometime. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back towards me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Okay, Monica. Okay, skipping. Your style's gotten so refined, Matt. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple of days than she's talked in a whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. Huh? That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all of her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright. I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway. Okay. Okay, we are going to save here. I just want to check some stuff. Okay, we got some new stuff here apparently. Okay, poems. The new CGs. Anything else? Concept art. Oh! Huh. Promo image, cool. Okay. Mail. Did we got mail stuff? No. Something's gonna happen in the mail. Okay. 6. Okay, so we've unlocked all of those. Cool. Let me see. Okay. Then I still kind of want to dig through the files. Maybe internal. Note. What is this? Don't store sensitive or permanent things. If you need to access files from the encrypted file share, copy them to your disposable drive and plug it in directly to the thin client. Do not copy them here. Rhea is working on setting up a proxy mail server so we can have proper remote communication without having to worry about the higher ups. Keep everything offline until then. Paula. Huh. Okay, so we got characters in here. Backup, test, file test, meeting notes, updated development timeline, new tasks, test cases for the new genetic model. Okay, this is definitely stuff for the ARG stuff. Server time optimization idea, atomic data collection, data migration to encrypted file share Monday, VM2 roadblocks, no VM2, everyone else on VM1 for data collection, ideas for data search types, visual renders, audio data, VM environment changes, persistent variable tampering, timestamps, parsing, bot patterns, no. Excessive server time needed, meeting over time, you know who went on too many tangents again. I need them to be more assertive about staying focused. Okay. Guessing none of these will actually open, but I'm going to check. Huh? Access keys found so far from rotation. Key pair 1, 240 clock time, 221, a 3-digit number combination somewhere. Key pair 2 is boat. Key pair 3 is spaceship. Key pair 4 is something. Okay, so something apparently happens if the clock is at 240? Internal... Or wait, was I in... I think I was in backup. I don't think there's anything in these numbers. Game? Okay, is there like a 221 here? Let's see... Nothing's really repeating. Oh wait, no? No. Not skis words. I wonder what this will look like if I let Sayori get deleted. Because I bet this will change. Oh, here's some repeating words. Or numbers, I mean. Well, there's a 223. Not really seeing a 221 though. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so 240, something's supposed to happen. Maybe that's when the mail happens? Data collection 50%. I bet something happens when I get to 100. Okay. Well... Part of me thinks that the ending will change if I do the side stories, so I kind of want to do the side stories before getting the actual ending. So I guess we can start going through these a bit. Okay, Trust Part 1. Yes. Water while it does all of this. Oh, that's new. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I miss debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over the other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on the desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, I can't talk. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I've never done this before. Is this the napping club? No, this is... Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is the literature club. Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec. I'm super sorry, it was, like, so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize, I do that all the time. Oh, did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that, this is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. I was just joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica. That's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk, then realizes that her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for this club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so? Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug and then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy. Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. A day passes, and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was excited yesterday, but I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late, I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits a sheet of paper onto Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, new poems. Ah! It's like, knock over everything. Is everything still registering me? Yes. Okay. Take my hand. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my steps so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no. That's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you wanted to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are at it. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like a dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be or something like that. Aw, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can write, but you can when it's a poem, right? Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry, but it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come to the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch, and we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing that for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun? Well, we could ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do their schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them on the wall? I'd definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful. I never said you weren't. I just need to think. What would we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to be just like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? Vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of the literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay, what if I said that we, like, do group readings and discuss it together? I would probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said in the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do. When you're just doing your normal day, and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. No. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all my things in the classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed? But weren't you... never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget it if I don't do it now. I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on the sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. Monica! You startled me. Sorry. But it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure that she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from the desk. Then the two depart the classroom, with Sayori leading the way. This way. You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In there! Monica appears through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the classroom, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart? That's so cute. I thought it was a little overdramatic. But Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but, would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, and it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it, so I'm just really afraid of deviating from the vision. What's the vision? Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think that's what you're trying to do. Is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself the best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only moment is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home. You tell me you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go ahead. I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright. I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the classroom. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most? I don't get it. I just wanted to start the club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us, underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in, the person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Water. Okay. Become the flower. The feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, pluck, pluck. So pretty in my hair. Pluck, pluck, pluck. You're going to die, and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moments between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, a carnage of my joy. And that is why I've decided I must become the flower. Wait, didn't Sayori actually say like something like this in her route? That sounds really familiar. Interesting. What the? Wait, Sayori? Huh? Okay, just male? Huh? I've Laster. Have a nice weekend. I've Laster. Do not use. December 9, 2019. Have a nice weekend. Okay. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time, but I expect my jobs to run for a few days since we've collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Pictures. Okay, so we got the new Monica background. Okay, so we're missing, I'm guessing that's a Natsuki poem. So we got all the Sayori ones. There's a Yuri one and a Monica one, I think. No CGs. Huh? Huh. Okay. Nothing else. Okay, but we got new music, side stories. Okay, so that unlocks that. I wonder if I should do trust or understanding. I guess because it's like all of these are unlocked, so maybe I should go down the list? Part of me wants to do part 2, though. I'll do this one, I guess. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club task, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around? What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for this stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I didn't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check it if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is a literature club. It's a place where people can express themselves in a way that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. right the way into your heart, or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad, where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage, where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up with how it sounds that I forget what's actually important. Monika pulls out a pen and paper and starts writing. Oh. Thank you for the follow, Toxic Wolf. Yes, I am. How you doing? Doing pretty good. I finally unlocked the side stories in Doki Doki, so I'm going through them. Let's see, Monika pulls out a pen and paper and starts writing. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monika scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, alright? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really going to take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. I mean, but also you, of course. Monika continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. No, this is the side stories. I'm playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. It just came out, and it has like new stuff in it. There's even new ARG stuff if you're into any of the Project Libitina stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. The side stories are like the backstories for the club members, so it's just the girls. Let's see. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monika's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, prepared with all of her random thoughts. Yeah. Well, on Steam, it's only like $14, I think. So it's not as bad as getting like the console version. The console version's like $30, I think. Ew. Monika looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. But it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying to make me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work out a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it. Monika and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monika is the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all new ideas Monika and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to the one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly at the center of the flyer. Right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that the one writes from the heart, not into the heart, but the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monika and Sayori had the thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monika thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? Not really. They're all very interesting characters. I can kind of relate to aspects of not the crazy side of Yuri, but like the quiet side of Yuri, and then the manga side of Natsuki. So I usually like those two the best. Let's see. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight of Monika's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monika was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. I can't breathe. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself, for real. Monika pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. Yes, English is very confusing. I can read fine when I'm not reading out loud, but then I get tongue-tied. Let's see, But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monika lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monika's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monika presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. Yeah. At least not in Act 2. Act 1, she's fine. It's Act 2 when she goes crazy. Let's see. I need liquid. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monika. Just move your hand. Monika writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. No, English is my only language. I know some Japanese, but I'm a native English speaker. I'm just not... I don't talk a lot. That's one of the reasons I started streaming, just so I could, I don't know, get better at talking. So I get tongue-tied a lot. Yeah. Let's see, Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stops for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. And then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also on something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes this sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Oh no, we're getting into the pain part. Sayori. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I can do it, then you can do it too, because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. Yep, she did. Well, this is before Monica learns about the player, so she's trying to be friends with everyone. So right now she does actually care about Sayori. Let's see, Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is, like, screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. Maybe. I haven't looked up any of the stuff for the side stories. I wanted to go into it blind, because this game, when I played it originally, I sort of went into it blind, so it's like, I want to keep that going. So they might cover all of the stuff, because Monica seems to know about everything, so it would make sense if everyone opened up to Monica and talked to her about it to some extent in the side stories. So yeah, this could be interesting. Let's see, wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. I forgot about Buffsuki. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard from over the air conditioning. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? Oh, my avatar? Yeah. I use the program called Vroid. So, yeah. It's completely free, and anything you make with it is 100% your own. You can do whatever you want. I'm currently working on a new model, and that will be going live in a few months, but for now, I'm using this. Let's see. I use a program called VC Face. It's also completely free. So, yeah. You just look up VC Face, so it'll take you to the website on Google or whatever. Vroid you can actually get through Steam. I would recommend doing that because then it will actually auto-update instead of you having to uninstall everything and then reinstall everything when there's an update. It's very convenient. Let's see. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kind of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this, but another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself, too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart, a feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave, I don't even compare. Monica steps forward, but if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you like. Oh, there's new key arts. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. I can't read. Yeah, it was only the other day. I think it was the 3rd that there was a new update. Basically, there's just new example models in there, so it's not like a big graphic change or anything. Yeah, I just unlocked all of them, so now I'm finally going through them. Because they aren't unlocked right at the beginning. You have to do at least the Act 1 with all of the girls. You have to unlock all of their key visuals, and then you get to play all of the side stories. So that's what I just did. But yeah, this is the first time I'm reading any of them. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. At this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob, and a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her own throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experience are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would. You have so much value. To me and to your other friends too. This club wouldn't have even been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Yeah, the key arts are always pretty. I've seen a couple of the ones from the side story, because jerks are putting them in their video thumbnails and spoiling things. But yeah, the two that I have seen, the two new ones I have seen, look very pretty. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other memories, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure things are just the way they usually are, if that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry for bringing this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks in. The face seems familiar. Oh. Any new stuff in the mail? No. Any new stuff in the files? Internal. Does not look like anything has changed in the files. Okay, so there's a lot of key arts that we're going to get. Cool. New stuff in the music. But yeah, these are the side stories. So I just did the Monica and Sayori one. There's stuff hidden in the files. Like, let's see, where was it? You go into internal, you get this letter from Apollo to Araya. In backup, you get the meeting notes. It's more of the ARG that was in the original. That, and we have mail, and we're getting letters and stuff through this Metaverse Enterprise Solutions thing. So there's stuff hidden in this game still. And also, there's still a character file. You can still delete everyone. No, it's new stuff. I don't remember any of this digging through the original, so there's new stuff in this game. It's just a matter of trying to find where they're all hidden. Because one of the files I was looking at... Oh, where was it? What was it in the internal? one of them mentioned a code. Trying to figure out a code, and I forget where exactly I found that. I'm not sure. I haven't tried any of that just because I was trying to unlock stuff. But no, I was looking through these, and I found some page, something or whatever, that mentioned the code, trying to figure out a code. And yeah, I don't think I've done what it wants me to do to unlock said code, but there is a code. Because it had like a bunch of grouping of numbers and stuff, and it looked like fees codes, like the 321, but it was like 223 or something, but I wasn't able to see that number on anything. That, and it had some extra words. So there's clearly something that needs to be done that unlocks something. I just haven't found it yet. Some other people might have found it yet, but I haven't like looked it up or anything. Okay. Okay. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks in. A face that seems familiar. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica, "It's her! It's the girl!" It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come in. The girl fully steps into the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail containing her excitement. It's happening! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori. We run the literature club, even though it's just us so far, but... what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh, do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. Sayori was trying to hunt down book readers to join the club, and she sees Yuri alone in the classroom, and she's like, "Monica, give her a flyer!" And Yuri's too engrossed in the book to even look up, so Monica just sets the flyer in front of her and runs away. Let's see. So what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, nice to meet you. No, they were like brainstorming how to come up with like more members for the club, and that's what I'm getting all the names mixed up. That's what Sayori wrote down. It's like, we need to hunt down book readers. And Monica's like, you do know this is a school. People are going to be reading books for assignment, not just for fun. And she's like, darn it. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. Yes. Have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say I have. Oh, well, she's my favorite author. Blah, blah, blah. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books. I wouldn't mind. Right now it's fine though. She hasn't been like altered or hacked or whatever. She's not insane yet. That's in Act 2. We're like in Act 0 right now. No, MC is not here. Protagonist Kun does not exist. Not yet. Sayori has mentioned him, but he's not actually here. This is just with the girls. Let's see. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monika stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. Yeah. Yep, they are. You probably need to bring one for now. Only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True, okay, I'll only get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monika and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have to, like, no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I have, like, no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was, like, a kid. But that's probably, like, a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monika, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You're blah, 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 blah. I can't read. It's sort of just more HD. If you compare like the original sprites to the new ones, you can see like a quality difference, and some of the expressions are a little more, I don't know, tweaked, refined. I don't know how to describe it. But other than that, it's basically the same as the original DDLC. Let's see. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with this administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yeah. Well, I'm talking just base DDLC is in here too. But yeah, you get the extra side stories too. This one's leading into Yuri's. So... maybe you could... Yeah, I just read that one. Yay, that's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her finger against a dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think, like, if we're going to be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Probably not. Novels do not have pictures. They are just words. Chunky books full of words, and they are great. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down and then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So, what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault, since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monica. Monica came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. Well, visual novels require like a game or a computer, like a game console or a computer. This is just a novel. Let's see, I was so stupid. I got too nervous and couldn't even look up. She just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Yeah, but I guess I was thinking of something else. Yeah, but I guess you were probably talking about like a graphic novel instead of a visual novel. Or manga. Wait, no, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just like walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there's being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. That makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. Yeah? Yes, I love my manga and my light novels and my actual novels. Just give me a good book, I'll be happy. What kinds of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything. Even if it's not literature. Just things you would think are dumb. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you're into. I suppose that would be okay. Okay, well, I'm pretty into, like, crafty things, like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends. But then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just stuff that you'd be I can't read. Not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monica, I'm going to start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park. Just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate automatically for a while. When do you like to do that? Oh, yeah. That's why when you do any sort of art thing, you save like every 10 minutes, because even when your computer's like running perfectly fine, it will find a way to corrupt the file. Let's see, it just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continued their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Yeah, somewhere on my other computer, I think I have the original, like my original Vroid model. It looked completely different than this. It looked so bad. This one I made like last November. It took me like a week to get it how I liked it, but now I sort of don't like it, hence why I'm making a new model. Taking more time on it. Let's see, no, I've never actually watched any of it. It just seems too, I don't know, toxic? I'm not sure if that's the right word to describe that show, but I've heard it is very raunchy and out of my comfort zone, so I don't watch that show, and I have no desire to watch that show. Let's see, Monica had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her work, but she found it difficult to not join in. Let's see, before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book in the next club meeting? I'm a girl. Why does everyone keep asking pronouns? That's such a weird way to ask, are you a guy or a girl? Just pretend you're a Pokemon, Professor. Embrace the weirdness. That's the plan. I'm so excited. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile. Bye! I don't believe in that sort of thing. It goes against how I was raised, my beliefs. So there's just guys and girls in my opinion. Everything else is just some weird headcanon that people are doing. It doesn't make any sense to me. As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room. I can't talk. Let's see. Sayori, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Okay, so part 2? No? Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. It's club time. Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Huh? Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still. I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly, so it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. Sure thing. Let's see. You know, like a club activity, that would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Part of the Everlast saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Oh right, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just taking notes. Notes? Yes, that's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head, but thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you, you're super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. There is strategy. It's a very minimal strategy, but there is some strategy. Let's see. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! Sayori rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not trying to be shy. Or when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two girls get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, the factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspects of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. So how do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much more planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry. I think there's an appendix in the... Blah, blah, blah. I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way. Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. It's a lot easier if you have a tablet, so you can like draw with like a stylus and stuff. That's what I have. I have a Windows Surface tablet, so I literally drew everything by hand, basically. But you can still use like your mouse to do it. You just click and drag. There's a lot of tutorials online that I watched, because when you draw like a line of hair or whatever, you aren't necessarily done, because you can actually adjust the bones manually point by point, and you can adjust the thickness and the width and stuff. So yeah, the hair was what took me the longest on my avatar. Another thing that helps, if you have anime figures, grab a couple of those and use those for reference just to practice, because then you'll get the hang of like how anime hair usually sets on a head in like a three-dimensional space. So yeah, like I use several Miku figures to help determine my hair. Another thing, you could always like, if you have MMD, look at some of the models there, because those are pretty good examples too. Just for like examples. I always suggest exporting the base, the base texture and the grid texture, and then opening it up in like a different art program, like Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop or something. It's a lot easier to draw in those than in VRoid. VRoid's a little awkward. The tools are a little more limited. Let's see, oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. So Sayori jots down... I can't talk. Sayori jots down Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of glad you're patient, because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. I really cannot read today. What is my problem? Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Varnus is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes, as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay, so Yuri takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? Huh? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going, to keep doing my best so I can see it the way you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow, but I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me. Sayori is left alone with her words. How does this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would have been having much more fun. I need to do better for her. Oh, new mail. Okay, side stories. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection with the VM. Just to clarify, all of the recordings labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in VM1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's more fundamental changes? Or is it the result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So I'm keeping track. We will have to wait like 5 different universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica, of course. It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are. As real as ours is, anyway. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Yeah, you can have the tie or the bow on your character even if you have the hoodie. If you go to the accessories tab, you can toggle that off. It took me a bit to find that too. But yeah, you just toggle it off and it will be gone. Okay, and the pictures. Okay, so we got the new Yuri background. Anything else? No. And we got the new song. Interesting. I'm curious to see where all this new ARG stuff goes, because now it's starting to feel like separated from Project Libitina, and I'm curious. Let's see. For the first time, Sayori is the first one in the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Why am I having issues today? Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri, not Monica. Gosh, I'm late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on the new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Well, you don't need to erase it, you just need to remove it in the accessories tab. You can toggle it off. Because even when you erase it, the mesh is still there and it can slow down your model. So it's always better to toggle it off than keep it there. Let's see, Monica rounds the corner, approaching the club room. And as she does, Yuri? Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. There should be... Well, once you get to the accessory tab, there should be like a little drop-down thing where the tie is listed. If you click that, it will show you all the options and one of them should be blank or nothing or something. I forget, it's been a bit since I've dealt with the bows and ties, because I don't use either on any of my models. Oh gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not... Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this, all of a sudden, when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monica is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes, that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with these new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monica tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry, I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on other flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more and more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working and I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thought but couldn't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully, anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with the club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of club would that be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monica that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about an arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. She what? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me, you don't have to connect. I will eventually get through this. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monica looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fist clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're not able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monica hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile, but Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exasperating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need to for each other. You just have to have a good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just, it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri felt... blah, 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 blah. Yuri falls silent again. It really doesn't matter. Like I say, I just take all of the textures into a different program and draw there. So it maps everything when you export the, like the grid or the example texture. It will show you where everything's supposed to be. So when you put it into the other drawing program, it's all mapped out for you. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see, Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. So yeah, Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, though, so please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up the water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri and then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Yes, how the tea started. We're getting lore. The all-important lore. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet! Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. But I got most of the way through it, and look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. No, the only thing they've been showing are poems still, so... Stop. Yuri presses her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this, Yuri. Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing began to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard to just articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes. Unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world, she should leave, just escape from here before Monika sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay, Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through the clenched throat, trying with all of her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings, and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. Yes, despair. Danganronpa. I need to play that at some point. I really like the anime, and I've heard that the games are like 1,000,000 times better. I really need to play them. Let's see. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. The anime of the first game. I haven't watched the anime for the third one, because it's the third one and I know nothing of the second one. So it's like, I will wait to watch the third anime for when I finish the third game or something. But yeah, I've seen the first anime. I have the signed copy of the first anime on my shelf. I even have the game, and it's signed. I just haven't sat down and played it. At some point, I will eventually get to that part of my backlog list. Let's see. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Yeah. Yep, I know that. I just haven't played any of the games. I've only watched the first series of the anime. Let's see. Because my interests are the only thing I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessed in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading. So I'll help you with things like... So I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while you were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we don't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want it to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the creases of a caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening, rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understandings of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not gonna judge anything this early on, though. So we'll just see what happens. Oh, and, it's not going to touch people without... And it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying, I'm back. Monika's back. I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. Like I said, this is Yuri before she's corrupted, so she cares about that sort of thing. Let's see, she whispers loudly, "Can I hug you?" Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. Yeah. She does that a lot, whispering loudly. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. About that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and to learn about the things that you like. Yes. Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Okay. Sayori and her notes. She must really like Post-its. Let's see. So yeah, it's just the new key art, nothing else. More music. Yeah, it doesn't... I wonder, is going through the side story change these somehow? That's not something I was thinking of, but maybe they add something. Huh. I don't know, I'll have to look into that later. Because I bet those change at some point. Let's see. What time is it? Yeah. Okay. I think I will call it a stream here. I don't think I have enough time to go through another one of the side stories before I have to go.